Hello and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and it's time for some Gunpla news. Before we start, I gotta give a big thank you to our channel sponsor, New Type HQ. If you want to get yourself some Gunpla, some tools, some supplies, some paints, basically anything you need to build, check out the link down below, and don't forget to use code Channel2S for 10% off your order. Now this is Anime Expo weekend, which normally is not really a time for Gunpla reveals, but because the 40th anniversary of Gundam, I guess, they actually brought some really cool stuff with them to the convention. Now of course, we already knew they were going to be showing off the Master Grade Gundam Barbatos, but surprisingly enough, they actually brought a whole bunch of other stuff with them too, so we'll be looking at all of it. But of course, we gotta start with Barbatos. So here is the gray resin prototype for the Master Grade Gundam Barbatos in all its glory. And yeah, this kit looks awesome. The detail on this thing is fantastic. This is basically everything that a Master Grade Barbatos could be. The color separation is great. It looks like they even got separate pieces for those red decal details on his shoulders. The weapons are really detailed too, although the gun is looking a little bit droopy. However, that's probably just a result of this being a very quickly put together prototype, and the final kit is unlikely to have that issue. And we don't have a price yet for this, although it's probably going to be in like the $40, $50 range, and it is coming out in winter 2019. And like I said last time we talked about this kit, I'm just really happy we're finally getting some new lead Gundam Master Grades again. And by the way, Bandai, if you started off 2020 with a Master Grade Atlas, that would be pretty cool. So teased, but not really fully revealed at the convention, was Gundam Build Divers Part 2. This is called Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise, and it appears from the 4 seconds of footage that we've seen of it to be a new story following a new character. Now, it's no big secret that Gundam Build Divers was not a very well received show at all. I personally was not a big fan of it at all, and I think a lot of it came down to the main characters just not having any real motivation during the story. There's no overarching plot of any kind. There's no tournament they're trying to win. There's no story mode in the game they're trying to beat. There isn't even like a rival character the main character is trying to best. It's kind of just them screwing around in the game, and it just makes for boring TV. So hopefully they fix that with Re-Rise. Maybe they won't. Either way, we're going to get some cool kits out of it. We did get to see what is presumably the lead Gundam for this series, and I actually can't tell what it's based off of. There's a lot of modification going on here, and I'm probably going to feel really dumb once someone points out what this is based off of, but just looking at these images, I have no idea. And I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but the logo of Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise actually incorporates what looks like an Exia's V-fin. I don't necessarily know if that has anything to do with the lead Gundam though, because this definitely doesn't look like an Exia. So with them to the convention, Bandai, or rather Bluefin / Bandai Namco US, brought a couple of those shadow boxes hiding a couple of Gundams that are in progress that they don't really want to reveal yet, and chances are both of these are RX-78s. In fact, it's very likely they're both RX-78s. So one of these boxes is underneath a poster teasing the live-action Gundam movie, which basically guarantees that this thing is the lead Gundam from that movie. It looks like a very plain, very standard mobile suit design. It's just a normally proportioned, normally sized robot with a square shield and some kind of ranged weapon. If this doesn't scream RX-78, I don't know what does. Now they also tease this other thing that's kind of interesting. So there's this designer called Ken Okuyama who I'm not familiar with at all. I can't tell you what this guy made. I heard he designed some Ferrari or something. I don't really know much about him. I don't follow a lot of designers, but they showed off some really cool redesigns he did for the RX-78, the Zaku 2, and the Char Zaku 2. And judging by the shadow box underneath the announcement poster, it looks like we'll be getting a kit of at least one of these, probably the RX-78. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing kits of all three. I think they're really cool designs. I'm interested to see where Bandai takes this. We also got to see a new perfect raid with massive air quotes around new, because this is the Unicorn Gundam Bandesine version, which basically means that it is a Unicorn Gundam with a white Banshee Norn shield, and that is absolutely it. Now this is being advertised as a limited production model kit, which means this is basically going to be the same deal as the real grade of the exact same suit. It's not going to be reprinted forever. It's just going to be this kind of one-off thing for the people who want it. And I think that's a pretty smart way to release this, because I honestly doubt there's a whole lot of demand for this at all. Now there is going to be more information about this revealed in the future, on the 15th to be exact, but until then this looks like a pretty boring release. Alright, so next we have something that I don't believe was shown at Anime Expo, but it was revealed recently, and I don't really think I had a chance to talk about it in the last episode of Gunpla News, so I'm going to talk about it now. This is the Premium Bandai High Grade Second Victory Gundam. And I gotta say, I've never seen this mobile suit before. I don't know what this is, but it's a really cool redesign. I like the new backpack equipment. I think they've also changed up the colors a little bit on the Gundam itself. They didn't show any release information alongside the kit, but it's going to be going up for pre-order soon, so I'm sure we'll know soon enough. Moving back to Anime Expo news, we did finally get to see what that whole Gundam Beyond thing was about. So, last time we heard about this, it was just a series of posters of different Gundam protagonists from different timelines meeting each other. We got to see stuff like Hiro meeting Camille, Mikazuki meeting Setsuna, Banashir meeting Amuro, stuff like that. And it looks like the ending manifestation of this series is a set of color-swapped kits. Now, as far as I know, these have not been confirmed for release, and this is just kind of a display thing, but you never know. Bandai has a tendency to show stuff off as display only and then release it anyway, so you can never really tell. So the first set of these are a mega-sized Unicorn Gundam and RX-78 in each other's colors. I don't have a lot of commentary on these, so I'm just going to kind of show you them one by one. Then we have a Master Grade Gundam Exia and a 1/100 Gundam Barbatos with their colors reversed. Note that the Barbatos has a beam katana this time. We have a Master Grade RX-78 The Origin in G-Self colors and a high grade G-Self in Gundam The Origin colors that look basically exactly the same as they did before. Honestly, this is the least impressive one out of the bunch. And then finally we have Master Grade Zeta 2.0 and Master Grade Wing TV version with each other's color schemes. I kind of like how the Wing Gundam looks with the black wings. And honestly, the only pair of these that I really feel any kind of interest in is the Exia and the Barbatos. And even then, they're really just something I'd get as a passing novelty at best. I really can't say I'm super impressed by these as a whole. And finally, we're going to close out the night on a new wave of SD Gundams. These are coming out in October. We don't have prices yet, so I'm just going to go through these real quick because I know there's not a ton of SD Gundam fans out there. So first off, we have the Akatsuki, which I applaud for actually looking like the Akatsuki. This is a very cool design, although it's an SD Gundam, so the gold is definitely not going to look this good on the final product. However, it still looks like a really fun design, so if you like the line, I think this is definitely one to consider. I especially like how they incorporated the clear red parts into the feet and skirting. So next we have a Strike Noir that I guess kind of looks like the Strike Noir. I suppose the mask has those little cat whisker marks that the Noir had. He does have this really cool visor that drops down over his face. And he's actually got the Strike Noir shoulders as well, so there's again a fair bit of resemblance to the original mobile suit, which is what I really like to see with these Sengoku-Den style kits. And then rounding out the trio we have, I think this is the Destiny Gundam? Yeah, this is definitely the Destiny Gundam. It's got the teardrops in the eyes, it's got the V-fin, it's got the wings. This is a Destiny. So I guess they were kind of going for a pirate theme with this one. He has this really big claw weapon. I suppose it's supposed to be some kind of evolution of that hand cannon attack he had in the show. And there you go. That's pretty much everything we've seen so far from Anime Expo, plus a little more. And obviously this is a lot more than I ever would have expected to see out of Gundam at Anime Expo, but it was certainly a pleasant surprise. I'm really excited to see the Master Grade Barbatos and can't wait till we see it in full color. And I'm also very mildly, slightly optimistically excited for Gundam Build Divers Part 2. I mean, the show has nowhere to go but up. I hope. Anyways, I'm Second Soundwave. Thanks for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new for more Gundam and Gunpla content, and as always, I will see you next time. Take care, guys.